Have you ever wondered if changing the timing of your meals could unlock new levels of health and weight control? Today, we're diving into the world of intermittent fasting, IF, a unique approach that focuses on not just what you eat, but when you eat. Intermittent fasting is all about alternating periods of eating and fasting. It isn't about counting calories or strictly monitoring every bite. This method has been gaining popularity over the years because it offers flexibility and a fresh way of looking at nutrition and wellness. By shifting your focus to the timing of your meals, you might discover that managing weight and boosting your metabolic health becomes a bit more natural. In recent years, research up to 2025 has highlighted several fascinating benefits of IF. Numerous studies have shown that intermittent fasting can lead to modest weight loss and improvements in heart and metabolic health. Researchers have experimented with different fasting schedules, from restricting eating to specific hours each day to alternating feast and fast days. This video will explore a variety of these schedules and help you understand which might best fit your lifestyle. We'll talk about popular methods like time-restricted eating, TRE, alternate day fasting, ADF, the 5-way-2 diet, and even the one meal a day, OMAD approach. Each method offers its own blend of benefits and potential challenges. During our discussion, we'll break down the science in a clear, relatable manner. You don't need to be a nutrition expert to understand how these strategies could work for you. Whether you're curious about aligning your meals with your body's natural rhythms, or you're exploring a fresh way to manage your weight, there is valuable information for everyone here. We'll cover the latest findings from clinical trials and meta-analyses, and explain how researchers are comparing these different approaches. So, if you're ready to learn about a healthier way to schedule your meals and possibly unlock improved health, keep watching as we explore the ins and outs of intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting comes in many forms, each with a unique structure and set of guidelines. The 2025 BMJ Network meta-analysis has identified three broad categories of IF. The first is time-restricted eating, TRE, where you limit your meals to a particular window of time each day. Within TRE, you might try schedules like 16-8, 14-10, or even shorter windows such as 6 or 4 hours. The idea behind TRE is to allow your body a more extended fasting period each day, which could help improve metabolic processes. The second category is alternate day fasting, ADF. With ADF, you alternate between days of very low calorie intake, sometimes as little as 0 to 800 calories, and days when you eat normally. Research indicates that ADF might offer slightly greater weight loss benefits than constant calorie restriction, although its differences are modest. The third approach is whole day fasting, often known as the 5-or-2 diet. Here, you select 2 non-consecutive days each week to significantly reduce calories while eating normally on the other days. Each of these variations offers unique advantages, and understanding them can help you select a method that best fits your daily routine. Let's talk more about time-restricted eating schedules. For instance, a 2024 randomized controlled trial compared a 16-8 schedule with a 14-10 schedule in adults with obesity and type 2 diabetes. Participants following the 16-8 approach experienced a weight loss of around 4.02% of their body weight, while those on the 14-10 schedule lost about 3.15%. Both groups enjoyed improved blood sugar and lipid levels compared to a control diet. This suggests that extending your fasting period by just a couple of hours might give you a slight added advantage, yet both schedules still offer significant benefits. Another study, the ADIF trial from 2024, compared 3 methods: 16-8, 24, and ADF. Surprisingly, only the ADF group showed significant reductions in weight and BMI over 6 weeks. However, the groups using 16-8 and 24-4 experienced improvements in waist-to-hip ratios. Their overall weight loss, however, wasn't as pronounced. This research reminds us that adopting a very short eating window, such as 4 hours, doesn't necessarily translate into better results. In fact, it might be harder to maintain over time. There's also the warrior diet approach, which involves a 4-hour eating window versus a 6-hour one. A study with adults battling obesity found both groups reduced their body weight by roughly 3% over 8 weeks, with improvements in insulin resistance and a lower overall daily calorie intake. However, the shorter 4-hour window did not outperform the 6-hour schedule, suggesting that going extremely restrictive might not yield extra benefits and could be more challenging to stick to. Another intriguing method is the one meal a day, or OMAD, approach. In a small crossover study of healthy individuals, consuming all daily calories in a single meal between 5 and 7 p.m. lowered total body mass more than when calories were spread over 3 meals. This method increased fat oxidation during exercise and led to lower plasma glucose later in the day. However, since the study was short, just 11 days, and focused on lean, healthy individuals, the long-term safety and efficacy of OMAD remain uncertain. Aligning your meal times with your body's natural circadian rhythms is an exciting new angle in IF research. Studies have found that early time-restricted eating, such as eating from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m., may provide enhanced benefits because it coincides with peaks in insulin sensitivity and metabolic activity. In an 8-week trial involving young women who also engaged in resistance training, those who followed an early eating window saw nearly 2.61 kilograms more weight loss than those with later eating sessions. This observation points to a promising synergy between meal timing and our body's internal clock. Moreover, there's growing support for the idea of personalized eating windows. The timed trial in 2024 tested a tailored 10-hour window, which was set based on each participant's natural wake-sleep cycle. This individualized approach not only helped improve key metabolic markers like blood sugar and cholesterol, but also enabled participants to maintain lean muscle mass while shedding body fat. With personalized schedules, you have the flexibility to start your meals 1 hour after waking and finish 3 hours before bedtime, ensuring that your fasting plan fits comfortably into your daily routine. Alternate day fasting remains a popular choice for many. With ADF, you rotate between low-calorie fast days and days with normal eating. According to the BMJ meta-analysis, ADF produced a slightly higher weight loss, roughly 1.3 kilograms more, than continuous calorie-restricted diets. In addition, ADF showed modest improvements in cholesterol levels compared to time-restricted eating. Despite these positive findings, it's important to note that most ADF studies are relatively short, typically spanning no more than 24 weeks, making it challenging to conclude their long-term benefits. Similarly, the 502 diet, where you eat normally for 5 days and significantly cut calories on 2 days, is often found to be easier to follow because the fasting days are only twice a week. Some small randomized trials suggest that this method is comparable to daily calorie restriction in terms of weight loss, and it also appears to improve insulin sensitivity and blood lipid profiles. However, as with other IF methods, more extensive research is needed to understand its long-term impact fully. We should also touch on the fasting mimicking diet, FMD. FMD is designed to simulate the effects of fasting while still providing the body with small amounts of essential nutrients. Recent studies, including a couple funded by the National Institute on Aging and published in Nature Communications in 2024, have shown promising results. These studies suggest that periodic FMD cycles can reduce diabetes risk, lower liver fat, boost immune function, and even have anti-aging effects. Since these fasting cycles are short and infrequent, they might be a more sustainable option compared to daily caloric restrictions. Nonetheless, the long-term impacts of FMD are still under investigation. Choosing the right intermittent fasting plan depends on your lifestyle. For most people, a time-restricted eating schedule of 14-10 or 16-8 is manageable and sustainable. It's essential to ensure that the quality of food remains a priority. This means incorporating plenty of vegetables, fruits, lean proteins, and whole grains into your meals. Even on fast days or shorter eating windows, what you eat matters, and poor diet quality can undermine the benefits of any fasting schedule. Another critical point is aligning your meal timings with your daily rhythm. Early eating windows, as research suggests, could potentially improve insulin sensitivity and overall metabolic health. For those who prefer a more individualized approach, experimenting with personalized schedules might be the key to balancing fasting with the demands of modern life. It's also important to note that some studies have raised concerns about extremely short eating periods. One extensive observational study presented at the American Heart Association's 2024 scientific sessions found an increased risk of cardiovascular issues among individuals who limited their eating to 8 hours or less daily. This means that if you have any pre-existing health conditions, such as heart disease or diabetes, consulting with a healthcare professional before starting a fasting regimen is crucial. Finally, it's essential to acknowledge the limitations of the current research. Most studies are conducted over a relatively short period and often involve only certain groups of people, primarily healthy or overweight adults. More long-term research is needed, particularly studies that include older adults, those with chronic conditions, or investigations into the impacts on mood, cognition, and reproductive health. With that in mind, intermittent fasting shows promise as a versatile lifestyle tool, but its effectiveness varies and should be tailored to individual needs and circumstances. To sum up, intermittent fasting is not just a trend. It's a diverse and evolving approach to managing weight and boosting metabolic health through clever meal timing. We've looked at multiple methods, from time-restricted eating variations like 16-8 and 14-10, to alternate day fasting, the 5-2 diet, and even the 1 meal a day approach. Each of these has its unique benefits, such as modest weight loss and improved insulin sensitivity, while also presenting its own challenges in terms of sustainability and long-term safety. Aligning meal times with our natural circadian rhythms, as seen with early TRE, seems particularly promising in enhancing these benefits. The key takeaway is that there isn't a one-size-fits-all solution. Your ideal fasting regimen should mesh with your lifestyle, consider your personal health needs, and always be supported by a nutritious diet. If you have existing health concerns, it's essential to consult with a healthcare professional before starting any fasting regimen. As research continues to evolve, staying informed and adapting your approach can lead to better, more sustainable health outcomes. Remember, intermittent fasting is just one of many tools available for improving health. As you explore these options, be patient with yourself and monitor your progress. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel to stay updated with the latest research and practical tips on maintaining a healthy lifestyle.